you the story of the farm with a lot of things that we've been through. But the really important thing that we want to share is that we don't know what we're doing. We want to keep learning. We want to keep improving. So every time we've grown, we changed, we improve, we make it better. It's changing what we used to do. So maybe 10 years from now, I look back at 2025 saying, I was wrong, I was still doing that, and that was really wrong to do. Here, what we're going to do with you is describe a little bit what the farm has gone through with the different farming practices. We changed 35 years ago in a very meaningful way, but the farm has been in the family for 80 years. How important is to be a farmer? Very important. How important is food? How many people want to be farmers?
No way.
That's okay.
So what is really happening? I hear the environmentalists and people who judge, who start reading the climate changing today, and they say, oh, climate is changing and there's less and less farmers being able to produce coffee in Costa Rica and around the world. Actually, the climate change probably yes, but especially the economy have changed so much that Costa Ricans want to work in office, in other places, and they abandon their fields to work in the office. So the coffee seed is 10% of the weight of the fruit. And then this seed is going to be peeled off. We peel it off. And then we get the nut out of it. And this green coffee, which is, you can peel those seeds that I put in front of you if you want. You can get to this point. This is 8% of what we produce. And then we put that into a roasting machine. No, that's rico podemos usar. And then the roasting will make coffee change and look into this. So roasted coffee weighs 6% of what I have produced. Around the world, we've cut down the forest in 11 million hectares of forest to be able to supply the demand of coffee that we have created. We use close to 25 to 30,000 liters of water to produce 1 kilo of coffee. And then now it's doing the brewing in the Costa Rican form, which is traditional. It's the Costa Rican way of making coffee. It's called chorreador. Have you heard of that? Chorreador. That is a filter made out of cotton, and we brew it. There are 5 that are very specific to change the brewing. But before the brewing, we have to select the coffee. When you go to a coffee shop, that's the first thing that we do. We select the coffee. How do you do? How do you do that? You select Caturra, Catuai, Catimor, Sarchimor, F1, Catamaran, or do you select the brand? Normally, have you heard of these names I just mentioned? Just to ask you a little bit about it. Okay. Have you heard of Pinot Noir, Cabernet Sauvignon, Sauvignon Blanc, Malbec? Okay, so if you know these last names, those are names of varieties of grapes. When I told you Caturra, Catuai, Catimor, Sarchimor, F1, those are varieties of coffees. So, same way when you select your Cabernet Sauvignon, you can expect what flavor you're getting. So if I select my Caturra, or my Catuai, or my Catimor, I can expect what flavor I'm getting at the end. But if we don't know that, the selection that we made before is very randomly. Or almost like saying, let's try to see if I like that coffee. These 5 variables are temperature, speed of brewing, ground size, the amount of coffee and water, and pressure. And you can play with those variables. How? When you use more temperature of the water, the result is going to be more bitter. Do you like bitter coffee? So use less temperature. But if you use too little temperature, the result is sour. Do you like sour coffee? Okay, so maybe what we want to do is not too bitter, not too sour, kind of balance, where we can get a better profile of flavors, or more balanced profile. Finer grounds, It's gonna be more bitter or less bitter? Finer, more surface areas, more extraction, more bitter. When you do coarse, then the grounds are making more difficult to extraction, so it goes sour. So when you do higher temperature, but then the ground is coarse, what happens? One is less extraction, another one is more extraction. Together, they are balanced. So starting with water would be like a reset of pH and a condition that you always gonna taste the coffee in a similar form. So have the water first. Then after that, you're gonna try that coffee. I want you to think about how you drink your coffee. I'm gonna do it two forms. We can drink it normally, and for me, normal look like this. Did it look normal? Okay. And the second thing will be like this. Did it look normal in a restaurant? Okay. Which of the two do you think is more enjoyable?
Dos.
Thus. So why, if the second one is more enjoyable, the first one is more popular? A question that I know we probably don't have a clear answer for. Because we follow culture. And culture don't have a clear reason why I have to do that or why I don't have to do that. So if you never experience it, do it. Like first put coffee in your palate, what we think normal is. And then the second thing, you actually do it the other way and feel which of the two forms of tasting give you more sensation. But feel it, don't just guess, you saw it, now I want you to do it. And see which way you enjoy more your coffee. Remember, the very first one is keeping our mouth shut, right? The second one, we can open our mouth a little bit more and even make noise with it and open it more. That actually, as with our mouth shut, the flavors are really, but when we start actually doing like this, palating, it doesn't have to be out loud, like maybe I'm exaggerating a little, but every time I open my mouth, the flavors kind of rise up. Have a bite of the bread in each of the coffees. A bite of the bread before each of the coffees. If bread, it is different. And it's the same coffee. All it is that you're having something eating in between. So next time you're in a coffee shop and you can say that's the best coffee, think of what you ate and don't forget that. Because next time you are there, you need to order the same thing with that same coffee so you can say that's the best experience again. We got it like 9 years ago. It is very old to be on the farm, but really old being in Costa Rica. That's a really old machine. And before this one, we had the smaller one over there, but that one is just a backup in case this one breaks. But this is, and what you see there is freshly coffee roasted. So you're welcome to, if you want to get a bean and bite into it. One variable related to the others. Before, that if you haven't, these are mariolas.
But they are not dangerous, no? They are not dangerous.
No.
This we saw in the Arenal.
They don't have a stinger.
Mexico. We saw them in Cahuita.
That's true too. You see the picture? Along when pollen survives. Here, this flower, buds ready to bloom. The flower, really baby beans, bigger beans, and some ripening. That isn't normal on a plant to see flowers and to see green and to see ripen all at the same time. It's not normal. The skin that we can use for tea, marmalade, or wine without water. Remember, this is the water-free machine that I told you. And then after this, the seeds go to dry. In the juice, the skin that falls into here, I have a container a little close to where you have the white car. There's a container above. That's the winery. You see that? This plant, but you see this one is completely green. It's the variety. If you can tell the size of the leaves, Look how wide the leaves are in this case. And these are really wider. And to avoid the chemicals in the farm, we plant many other things. If you can see how insects are eating this, how insects are eating that, even the orange tree a little bit, that's the reason why less coffee is affected. So if we only had coffee, then it will go only for coffee. But if there's a lot of diversity, if you see the leaves, look at those leaves. If you're from here and you see against the light, each of the leaves, there are holes in it. Now we make more money with bananas, leaving it for the birds. How? Why? Birds eat it, they make compost, and then they poop it for free all around the farm. And people don't want to work for free, and birds do.
Fertilizer.
So that's actually how it's more profitable. And remember the price I can get from a banana and the price I can get from coffee. So for me, it's more profitable to let the birds eat it, make that transform into something the coffee is going to use it later, and make that more profitable. 30 years old. Yes.
What kind of tree is that?
This is gallinazo. And the tree represents the shift to diverse farming. We changed to organic 35 years ago. And we changed to diversity a little after. So this diversity that we have around here, makes you feel like you're walking in a jungle. But this is a farm, coffee farm. Have you thought that this fruit is wasted so we can make cacao? The coffee fruit is sweet too, and it's wasted to make coffee. And if you want to taste the bitter part of it, just bite it.